Hello and welcome back, guys. This is Ibrahim Quraishi here and we are watching VMware tutorial for beginners. This is going to be session 28 and today we are going to introduce a new topic, distributed resource scheduler. Quite often this is known as DRS, and we'll go through some aspects of it and also have a look in our lab with a live demo how and what is the uses of DRS. As always, just wanted to remind you all for subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out on my new content. And thanks a lot for comments and feedback from you guys. I really appreciate it, and I want you to post more comments and let me know what you want to watch next. And as you know, we are really near the completion of this course 6.7, so I want more feedback on what topics you want to hear next. One of the comment which I got was update manager. It's already in the agenda and I'm going to basically record the process of how to update ESX host using update manager. Okay, let's get into the agenda for today. So what is DRS? DRS prerequisite, distributed resource scheduler, how to enable it, and then we'll look into the live demo. So basically we need to have at least 2 hosts in a cluster to be able to have DRS to work. Well, I would say 3, but let's when we are talking about the bare minimum, you need to have at least 2 hosts in a cluster, and you will have 2 different types of DRS. One is compute, which is memory and CPU compute vMotion, using vMotion, and basically DRS uses to distribute the resources within the ESX cluster. DRS uses vMotion, which is what we discussed in the previous sessions as well. So obviously all the requirement for vMotion is still there, and you need to be meeting those requirements. That is, you need to have shared storage, you need to have, you know, the host seeing the all the storage, and you need to have vMotion network enabled, at least 1 gig network for it to work efficiently, but 10 more the better. So if you have a 10 gig connection for vMotion, that's better. Also we have distributed resource scheduler for storage, which is also called SDRS or storage DRS. In this particular lab I don't have 2 data store. I only have 1 data store presented from FreeNAS, which I use on my lab, so we won't be able to do that, cover that, but what we will be seeing is a live demo of how compute vMotion happens when for balancing the cluster if you power on new VMs and stuff like that, because we can see different features and set the DRS to aggressive mode or, you know, a conservative mode, and we'll look into it a little bit deeper. So cluster settings for enabling DRS, we'll just have a look at that in the demo. So let's get started, and I'm just going to open my so here we are having a demo cluster here, and I have 2 hosts running 6.7. Again, it doesn't matter which version of ESX you're running. If you have the compatible version, they will vMotion from one version to host to other. In this lab, I have recently upgraded this particular host to the latest update 3 using the update manager. So there's another lab like video coming in shortly about update manager, I was saying. So this is running 1432. So this is the latest version of update VMware 6.7 update 3. This is running update 2. As you can see, 3130. The build number is different here. So what we are going to see here is for enabling DRS, what we have to do is you need to select the cluster. Once you select the cluster, the top option you get is vSphere DRS. So at the moment, as you can see, it is fully automated. and migration threshold, apply priority 1, 2, 3 and priority 5 recommendations. So if you edit the settings, to enable DRS, all you have to do is basically select this tick box like this, and once it is selected, you have a drop down where you can select manually where you have DRS turned on but you still want to manually move the VMs around. Partially, that is, the VMs are not going to be moved manually anyway. It's pretty much like partially, but when you power on a VM, it is going to question where do you want to put the resource. So it is basically partially working for you, and it is going to give you recommendations. But when you power on a new VM, it will ask you where do you want to power on which particular host or resource you want to power it on. Now the last option, and this is what you would do really if you have a fully automated environment, you set it to fully automated, and this is the slider which I was talking about. This is priority 1, priority 2, yeah, and significantly try to load balance a cluster into, and we can go 3 in moderate improve to the, so the vCenter will apply recommendation that promise even a moderate improvement to cluster load balance. So again, if you set it to fully aggressive, that's it, that basically handles everything for you. So with DRS you have predictive DRS as well, which you can enable. So in addition to real-time metrics, DRS will respond to forecasted metrics provided by vRealize operations server. You must also configure predictive DRS in a version of vRealize operation that supports this feature. So that this is basically leveraging VMware product vRealize operations, which I have in my lab. So we will see how we can use that at some point. So let's click OK, and let's try and see how much resources are spread across. So this particular VM, this particular host has 2 VMs, and the capacity, there's only 1 gig remaining here, and this particular host has quite a lot of VMs, I guess 4, yeah. So, and then it has 2 gig remaining. Okay, so what are we going to do now? We are going to see where this CentOS is. It's running from 3. So let's create another virtual machine here. Let's migrate this Unisia. So let's migrate this one here. Next. So you're using normal vMotion to migrate it. It's going to be same network. Finish. So now we have 3 VMs here, and then I'm going to try and build another new VM here. Let's build a new CentOS 8-2. We'll put it in the same cluster, which is the demo cluster, on the same host. We'll select. So as I have upgraded one of the hosts to 6.7 update 3, so I can select update 2 or later, and over here you will get to select the hardware of the OS, so guest OS family. So you can see we have Linux, and then in Linux you need to select CentOS version 8 and click next. As always, what we are going to do is edit the configuration of the hardware. We are going to add 2 cores and enable hot add maybe, and with memory we are going to enable hot add memory, and with disk we are going to add 40 gig disk. However, we will make sure it is thin provisioned. So that's about it in the configuration, guys, and once we are done with that, you can see I have got 2 gig memory and 2 CPUs, 1 network card, and I'm storing it on FreeNAS LAN, and it's actually going to be on this host. So finish that. And that VM is now created, CentOS 2. Let's power it on. So you need to remember the DRS will work when and only when there is stress on the cluster. So what we are trying to do is I'm going to build a new machine, and it is essentially going to struggle on that host, and it will try to move to the other host here. So this host here, let's have a quick look. It has 2 gig free, and this host here has only got 1.5 gig free. So potentially this VM which I have now powered on, CentOS 2, let's open the the console, and then come on, open it. So wait for it to open. Okay, cool. So it has booted. I have the ISO of CentOS here. I'm going to mount that, and we are going to restart DRS. Hopefully it should pick up. Yeah, there you go, it has picked it up. So we are going to select the disk for installation. So let's have a look here. In the background we have seen VMs started to migrate. We kind of missed it when we were trying to do the setup, but again, obviously you saw how to configure the CentOS version 8. But let's do something here. Let's try and migrate Kali Linux back on. One and see whether it moves it back on 03. Sorry, 103. Let's focus on our lab demo which we are doing. Let's trying to move it now. So we have done it at 8:19. Yeah, and we can prove it that it is running here now. You can see that. Check how much capacity we have. Only 1 gig. Let's put something else. Let's put this photon OS back on there. Actually, let's try to put this one CentOS 2, this is CentOS 7. So this is basically a vMotion really, and when DRS moves the resources around, it's also using or leveraging, as we call, vMotion. So go back here, and now we should see so we have 4 VMs here. Let's give it a couple of minutes, and then we should see some activities. So as it stands, we have CentOS 2, CentOS 8, 01 and 802, and Kali Linux in here, and then we are chewing up pretty much 5 gig, 4.5 gig memory, and over here is the same. So it's very close. Let's try and move another one. Quite tempted to push it really. There you go, migrating virtual machines. As soon as I started that migration, these VMs started to migrate, and you'll see Kali Linux trying to see it has moved back here, and CentOS 2 has moved back here as well. Now to see that, we can click on the VM, and then we can click on monitor, and we can click on events, and then we should be able to see the event. So there you go. So you can see DRS migration, Kali Linux from host 103 to this in cluster demo in London. So that's what happened, and this is us doing it, but this is DRS doing it. So that's basically it, guys. So I can complete my installation as well of CentOS. Continue. So let me know, guys, if you're interested in the installation of CentOS. Cool. Thank you. So this is a quick installation, so I can show you guys. So I quickly select some of the important options here. So select Europe and select London. There you go. And let's import it. Networks. Let's configure the network. Turn it on, and it should get an DHCP IP address, and it should populate it here. There you go. Let's go to 136 IP. That's about it, guys. So it's just quick and easy setup. We could potentially go in and do manual configuration of the disk. I suggest you create a EFI boot partition of 1 GB, a root partition of at least 30 to 40 gig for version 8 of CentOS, or 100 gig if you can, and then you have a separate var partition, because that's where all the logs will be stored, and if you have an error, so logs can easily fill up the entire space. So if you can contain that within 10 GB or 20 GB separate var/var partition, and then have another 20 gig as a slash home, and all of them you can have it as XFS partitions, um, which is the default by these days on CentOS 8. Okay, let's begin the installation. So let me know how you guys find this video. I just need to finish this setup by giving the root password. Done. Always have a backup user, so I'm going to create one. And that's it. So we just need to wait for the setup to complete, and that's how you install CentOS on ESX. And as you can see, CentOS 8 option is available now from 6.7, not on 6.5, so you better upgrade to the new version really. Let's quickly go back to my slides. So we have completed the demo. You have seen two things. You have seen a demo of CentOS installation, CentOS 8 specifically, and you have seen how DRS works, how we have moved things around when we stressed one ESX host, how DRS started evacuating the host with others and moved other VMs on the host which is less busy. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, you can reach out to me on Twitter. My blog is ibrahimquraishi.com, and I'm working on a new website called Agile Ops. Be sure to subscribe for my newsletters there, and you'll keep a track. You'll get email notification whenever I post a new blog as well. And the question of the day today: DRS needs shared storage. So does DRS need shared storage? Let me know yes or no on the comments below. So I'll be waiting for you guys to respond. Don't forget to subscribe, enjoy watching, and keep sharing, guys. Cheers, bye.